Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. And today let us talk about healing our painful past memories. Now, when we say memories, what is memory? Memory is something which is very similar to, like a photo album, you could say. And what happens is when there is an experience, when there is an interaction, when there is event that has happened in our life, whether it is direct or indirect, we give a meaning to that event, to that interaction, to that experience, right? And when we give that meaning, whatever happens, whether it's painful, whether it's registered as rewarding, it goes into our memory as, we store it. Or, because it's there in my storage, and if it's something which is painful, I keep retrieving it. I keep recalling it from my memory. The basic purpose being that, why did this happen to me? We keep trying to analyze why this happened to me. This shouldn't have happened to me. And somewhere your mind wants you to be safe. It doesn't want you to go through the same pain again. But rather than learning a lesson from that situation, that what is it that moment, that experience wanted to teach me, and how is it that I can become a better person? Because we concentrate so much on the pain, the grudge that we hold, because it is painful, we have very either fearful feelings or stressful feelings or sad feelings or revenge, hatred, resentment, guilt, anger. We develop these kind of emotions, right? Because of that story which I have in my mind. And the moment that I have those kind of feelings in my mind, and I have those kind of emotions in my mind, and every time that I revisit that, it's going to create the same pain, right? So it's time to release those memories. Of course, we cannot change what happened, but we can change the meaning of what had happened. We can give it a more positive meaning to what had happened. It does not have to be negative, because life happens for me. Life doesn't happen to me. And the moment that I evaluate or I give a positive meaning to what happened and I say that life happens for me, what am I saying? I'm saying that life is in favor of me. God is in favor of me. Everything is in favor of me, and it wants me to become the best version of myself. It wants me to become more and more mature. It wants me to become more and more fine. Like they say, no pressure, no diamonds. Only a rough sail makes a fine sailor. So in life too, when these things happen to us, we have a choice. What kind of meaning do we want to give to that situation? Because from these stories, when we give a certain meaning to these stories, what happens is from these stories, there is a thought, right? And from that thought is a feeling or an emotion. And from that, there is our behavior, our decision making. It impacts the way we look at ourselves, and it impacts the way we look at the world. So through these personal experiences, we form these personal stories, and we carry these stories with us. And when we carry that story with us, it is forming my personal reality, which means my personality. It is somewhere impacting my identity, right? So stories, these personal experiences which we turn into personal stories, right? These can be positive or negative. They can be progressive or regressive. The story that I'm telling myself can either be a victim story, it can either be a hero story. It can either be a sad story, or it can be a very happy story. It can be a problematic story, or it can be a productive story. So, if I'm giving a negative meaning to an event, so What is it that impacts our stories? There are certain factors which impact our story, and that those are our belief systems that we have about those factors. Now, what are those factors? Those factors could be my beliefs about gender. Now, if I'm a boy, if I'm a girl, it could be belief systems about my nationality. I'm an Indian, I'm so and so. It can be about my role. I'm a sister, I'm a brother, I'm a mother, I'm a father, I'm a wife, I'm a husband, I'm a daughter. So, what are my beliefs about those roles? What are my beliefs about my relationships? What are my beliefs about the titles that I have? What are my belief systems about socio-economic status? That is which is related to my profession, my possessions, my qualifications, right? So my qualifications, I'm so and so, I'm a teacher, I'm an actor, I'm a counselor, I'm an engineer, I'm a doctor. What are my belief systems about those? How much I earn, my degrees, all of those things. What are my belief systems about those things? And my belief systems were formed in the childhood. They are not on that, they are not even my belief systems. Sometimes you can say that, okay, I experienced this, so that experience happened in that moment, right? And those, if we talk about childhood, whatever I saw, whatever I heard, whatever I felt, whatever I experienced, right, and whatever I was told, uh, the references that I got, all of those things have shaped my belief systems. Now, if I have very limiting belief systems, if I have very negative belief systems, if I have belief systems that are not serving me well, not helping me to grow, then those belief systems are how I'm going to form this story. And therefore, this story will either be a victim story or it will be a hero story. So, what do you want your story to be? Do you want to be a victim or do you want to be a hero of your story? Because we are all the script writers of our own story. Like, we spoke the last time. Whatever I'm thinking, that has an energy. That energy has a vibration, depending on whether it's positive or negative. That vibration is going and matching something of a similar frequency and drawing those events, people, situations into my life. So then, do I have a personal responsibility? When in my personal story, somebody else is the cause of my pain. There's somebody else who is the one who, because of whom I am suffering. So the moment if that cause is outside, we want someone else to change. We want somebody else to correct themselves. We want somebody else to come and fix my pain. We want somebody else to take the responsibility. We want somebody else to do that. And we have transferred the control, the choice, the responsibility on somebody else. Like we spoke the last time, who is in pain? Who is suffering? Who is it then who needs to take the responsibility to fix it? Now, when we say somebody else is the cause of my pain, then we want them to change. Let's say they change, right? But if I have not taken care of what I need to change, of what I need to correct, if I don't take that personal responsibility, then forever I'm going to be dependent on somebody else, and other people can change and it will be good for them, but I'm going to remain in the same place where I am. So if I am in pain, if I have got hurt, my first responsibility is to fix it, to heal it, to soothe it, right? To take care of that wound, because if I don't take care of that and if I keep blaming somebody else, the pain is going to increase, the suffering is going to increase, the infection is going to spread, it's going to affect each and every area of my life, and eventually we all want to be happy. How will I be happy if I'm going to carry that pain around with me every single day? It's not going to help, right? So let us change the story into a hero story, a productive story. Let me look at that the next time that I'm going to revisit that story, right? Let me develop a new way, a new insight when I see that story, when I look into that thing. Let me this time, because every time that we take and we revisit that, we change the story a little bit, right? So today I need to realize one thing, that before I put this back into the cupboard of my subconscious mind, do I really need to keep this back? Is this really necessary for me? Or can I release this and let it go because it's of no use for me? The only thing which I can keep is, what is it that I have learned, and how is it that I have matured and grown because of the story? It can be a whole lot of garbage, but from that garbage, just search and you will get that one thing which is really precious, a precious lesson, a valuable thing, that you learned from the story. You can really do that, and you can forgive and you can move on. So, what is the kind of story you want to tell yourself? You are the narrator, so you can decide. And the moment you do that and you give a positive meaning to what has happened, you reframe it, right? You reconstruct it. The pain that you feel will gradually begin to fade away, and it will no longer irritate you. It will no longer trigger that pain. I hope this video was valuable and you can use this in practical terms. Thank you so much for joining me, and join me again. See you soon. Thank you.